Hello, 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 ladies, gentlemen, and other. uh, Welcome once again to the library. It's your boy, Isaac Anzu, back again for more wild and wacky adventures. That's what we're calling them. That's what you got. Hi, Nico. Thanks for the first. Welcome. Today we're going to be doing some super cool stuff, but the key is this. Last week, I didn't really know what to write. I did some old projects. I updated some old projects. I made some random music. I didn't know what to write. I was kind of low energy. That's okay. Isaac is here. Yes. Hello, it's me. When you are down on your luck, low on creativity, it helps to review and imitate and go through tutorials and just give your creativity a break. So what we're going to do today is we're going to do we're just going to do some music tutorials. You know, there's music tutorials out there. And we're going to write an epic Christmas piece of music. OMG, OMG, OMG. Isaac, Isaac, Isaac. Aw, I love you too. What's new with you? How's things going? We're gonna write some epic Christmas music. You might say, Isaac, what are you talking about? It's November. Yeah, month one of Christmas. But really, it's not even month one. It's like month two. If you want to be real about it. We are going to, let's see, I have a string ensemble all set to go. Yeah, look at that. Look at the strings. So, what should we're going to do the best Christmas song to start with. I keep asking myself, what do I do next? The answer is obvious. You just keep doing the things that you decided to do already. Epic. Speaking of epic, there's a musical that's happening and it's based on the Odyssey. Ooh. That's so funny. For some reason the Odyssey keeps coming up in my recommended stuff recently. And the guy who's making it, he's so fine. So fine, you say. I see. All right. Let's open up our good old tutorial window, as one does. And let's watch this video. In this video, I'm
going to talk about the sentence form, which I'm pretty excited about. Yes, I am the kind of person who gets excited about musical forms. Because when I really understood what makes the different parts of this form work, it completely changed my writing.
Tell me more about this Odyssey. Is it just...
Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Ryan. I'm a composer for film, TV, and video games. But I also love figuring out and talking about the way that writing music works. For more videos about
How have you been, by the way?
Music theory, and everything related to writing music, please remember to subscribe. So there are two fundamental
promotion at work, so we're doing a little better on
music. Last time I talked about the period form, and today we'll talk about the sentence form. The sentence is an under-discussed form,
wife
but
has
it's really powerful. It can work really
very
well for main themes, B
job
themes,
interview
intros,
today.
outros,
So
transitions, pretty much anything.
hoping.
A lot of books about musical form
Perhaps
only
we'll
focus
be
on the period,
on the up and up.
and then when you go and
Perhaps
listen to
we'll
a
be
lot
out
of real
of the
music,
woods.
what they describe doesn't really match up with what you're hearing. The first time I heard about the sentence as a distinct
We're not going to
form
stop
was
trying
in
just
Arnold Schoenberg's
because
Fundamentals of Musical Composition. You might know of
we're
Schoenberg
almost
as
there,
the father
right?
of atonal music, but his understanding of tonal harmony is really solid, and his books are really good if you ever get a chance to read one. But I didn't really come to appreciate what made the sentence form different from the
Schoenberg.
period and why those differences mattered until I read Analyzing Classical Form by William Kaplan. And there I really understood how the different parts can give you a really different trajectory for your theme. So there is a lot to get through in this video. First, I'll talk about what the sentence
I've been
form
pretty
is,
good recently.
and we'll look at what I call
I've
the
been getting
textbook
sick a lot,
example
though.
from Beethoven.
I don't know what
Then
the
I'll talk
deal
a bit
is
about
with
what
that.
makes the sentence different from the period and when you might want to use one or the other. We'll take a look at a second example from Spirited Away. Then I'll write a brand
Maybe
new
it's
melody
just the
using
season.
the sentence form to show
Maybe
you
it's
how
all
useful
this
and easy the structure is.
wild
And
food
to
that
finish
I'm
it off,
eating.
I'll talk about why learning about the sentence form was such a game changer for me. So let's
I've
get into what the form
kind of been
actually
eating a
is.
lot
We'll
of
do a quick overview and
rotten
then we'll go into
food.
more detail. You start with a 2-bar basic idea. You repeat the basic idea with or without variation.
Basic idea.
Bars 5 and
Basic
6
idea.
are called the continuation.
The
And this is where things
continuation.
have a feeling of forward motion. And that leads us to a cadence that closes off the theme. So let's take a listen to the opening theme from Beethoven's F minor Piano Sonata.
Mm-hmm.
Just like we did with the period form, he starts with a 2-bar basic idea. But what the sentence does differently is that instead of responding with a contrasting idea, we repeat the basic idea. It could be an exact repetition, it could be varied. In the case of the Beethoven, he's kept the line roughly the same pitch register, but adapted it to the 5 chord. There's no question that it's a repetition of what we just heard before, being played in a different way. What's really important about these first 4 bars, which Kaplan calls the presentation, is that there's a feeling of harmonic stability. A lot of times this can mean that there's a pedal tone holding the tonic underneath, or the whole thing is on the 1 chord. But generally there's just a lack of kind of harmonic progression, harmonic forward movement. Even if you are using different chords or different harmonies, the chords aren't necessarily telling a story, and especially there's not really a strong sense of cadence. So for example, in the Beethoven, when he repeats the basic idea, he modifies
we have
it
to use
the 5
Beethoven
chord.
as
Just because we have a 1 chord going to 5, we don't really get a feeling of like a 1 to 5 half cadence. There's not really this harmonic direction. It's more like oscillating harmonies. And when we return to the tonic in bar 5, it still feels like we're kind of hovering around that one home tonic space. If you look at the bass line, you can even see he's using an inversion. So we're getting this neighbor tone motion, which is not as forceful as using the root position chords. But next is where the magic happens, because in bars 5 and 6, we have the continuation. I like to think of the continuation as the moment where we have motion and movement in the theme. And a lot of times the way we get that is by having more of something. This might mean more motivic units in less time, or more chords per bar, or a more active rhythm. Generally, there's just a sense of more because we're getting motion, we're getting forward movement, things are actually happening and driving us towards the end. Whatever it is, there's a sense that we're being moved from point A of the beginning to point B of the cadence. So in the case of the Beethoven, for the continuation, you can see he reaches towards a new melodic high point, so more pitch height. He has a climbing motion in the bass line. He has a new chord every bar instead of just a new chord every 2 bars. And all those things come together to make this middle section feel really exciting and really energetic. You really get swept along. And then in bar 7 and 8,
Why do I feel
just
like
in the period
this guy
form,
needs to
we have
face the camera when he talks?
And just like in the period form, this doesn't have to mean that the piece is over. This could be a perfect cadence.
Why is he turning his head so
cadence.
much?
What it really means
He's
is
gonna
that
get
there's some
neck
sort of
problems.
sense of punctuation, that there's a breath. This is really important so that your listener can have a moment to process what they just heard, to have a little breath and space before the new things that you're about to give to them. If you neglect to have clear cadences in your piece, you're essentially writing run-on sentences. It would be like writing an essay with no punctuation marks, no indentation, no line breaks for new paragraphs. It would just be a rambling mess. So don't neglect your cadences. So Beethoven does a few nice things with his cadence here. After having a very active melody, he simplifies the rhythm and has it descend back down. Both of these things help to give us kind of
that's pretty much my entire gender identity.
He ends on the 5 chord for a half cadence, and he has a fermata, which allows for some space before he moves into the next part of the piece. There's a very strong feeling of breath or punctuation, demarcation that first theme has ended, and we're getting prepared and ready for more to come. So now that we've talked about the different details of the theme, let's listen through it one more time and hear how it all comes together.
We're gonna get copyright struck because Beethoven is a fiend on the copyright.
So how does the sentence form?
But for real, we should probably not listen to the the Spirited Away section, because you know Ghibli do actually be like that. Ghibli do actually be living that life. Okay. First off, this is going to be in 3/4. And we're gonna make a little fella, a little clip here. Yeah, they're called clips. I never have said that word out loud. But we need bum, 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 bum. Yes, the Ukrainian bell carol. So I feel like two repetitions of this is kind of like the first statement, right? And then this is the actual repetition. So we can even denote that by doing like this. Maybe that's too much. What about this? No. What about this? Yeah, that's better. Now let's, as he said, do a variation on this. So maybe we just bump it up. Bump it up, bruh. Bump it up. And then some sort of cadence, he said. Bum, 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 bum. Bum, bum. What about that? It's totally up. I was singing it up a note. Yeah. But we don't want it to be a full cadence yet, right? That seems good. And we can up the tempo a little bit because this song needs a nice crisp tempo, right? If we're not doing that, Yeah, that's better. All right, let me just save this. Christmas Epic Bell Carol. My naming system is awful. Yeah.
Form compare with the period
All right,
form. If you
let's
haven't
learn
watched my
about
video on the period form yet,
form.
you might want to head over, check that out first, and then come back over here. In some ways, the period and the sentence form are identical for like 75% of the time. They both start with a 2-bar basic idea. They both have a repetition of that idea, and they both end with a cadence. What's really different about them is what happens in the middle and the way that that repetition of the basic idea is handled. So if you remember in the period, after the basic idea, we have a contrasting idea, and then a return to the basic idea. There's definitely a sense of balance, and also that the first time we said something, it was kind of a question. Now we're saying it again, and you're expecting some sort of resolution. In contrast, the sentence stays pretty static by repeating that basic idea. It's kind of really holding us down. We're gonna need something more. By the second time through, we're ready for something to happen, and then we get that continuation. So there's a lot of energy and motion in the middle of the theme. When you hear the first 2 bars of a theme, there's really no way to know which way it's gonna go. Is this gonna be a period? Is this gonna be a sentence? Until you get to bar 3. And that might be true when you're writing as well. So how do you decide
just got done DMing me about my hyperfixation on a silly musical, and OMG, this sounds so effing good so far. Like, holy wow.
Balance and calmness.
Oh, you have messaged me a lot.
Energy and action and motion. So if I was writing a love theme or maybe a simple march, I might lean towards the period form. If I was writing an adventure theme or the opening allegro to a sonata, I'm probably going to use the sentence.
Yeah.
So to borrow and twist a metaphor from the author Carol Berger, I like to think of the period as a circle and the sentence as an arrow. There are plenty of cases where you could use either theme in any allegro to a sonata. I'm probably going to use the sentence. So to borrow and twist a metaphor from the author Carol Berger, I like to think of the period as a circle and the sentence as an arrow. There are plenty of cases where you could use either theme in any context, but kind of oversimplifying this, putting them in these 2 separate camps, helps me make quick decisions when I'm writing about which direction I'm going to take my theme. So
okay, I'm gonna mute the video for a second because he's going into Spirited Away. Interesting. So Nico's telling me about a new musical that's a version of the Odyssey, and the 3rd saga is coming out this Christmas. Dang. This guy's busy. I like him. Can we be as busy? I probably can be that busy. Do I have a big project I'm working on right now? I do, actually. I have a big rap album coming up. Maybe not this year. Maybe next year. All hail mighty Sir Isaac, the contemplator of sentence, period, and thematic sonata. Hello, Dolu. Welcome. Thank you so much for joining. I hope you're doing well. I saw things are slightly improving for you, and I'm very grateful. Today, we're working on an epic Christmas bell carol. I don't know if you've heard the Ukrainian bell carol. But I'm going to pause the tutorial and turn on. Yes, they are. Thank you for the wishes. Of course. A bell carol, you say? Indeed. And we're just going to... This guy says that the sentence form is like an arrow. So we're going to just B D D D D. B D D D D. Uh-huh. Ooh. Do 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 do. Me when I start dragging people into my new hyperfixation, cause I'm just that cool. Sounds like a hot chick living upstate. The bell of the ball, Carol, the bell of the ball. It's me. My name's Carol. You can call me Bell Carol. All right. So now we need a new section, right? Now we need a new section. Give me a lot of Harry Potter vibes. I'll take that as a big compliment, considering John Williams is a master of Harry Potter and music in general. John Williams, just honestly, one of the modern legends of composing, right? Is that right? Beep, 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 beep. No, that can't be right. Hans Zimmer for you, hands down. Definitely also amazing and has changed the soundscape of music a couple times, which is really awesome. And I'm not going to say that John Williams is the greatest living composer because that's just asking for it, right? But John Williams is assuredly a legend. Maybe we can do this. Ding. Beam, boom, beam, boom, boom. Dun, 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 dun. Bum, 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 bum. Boom. Dun, da, 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 da. Let's keep the sentence form, shall we? Bum, ba, ba, da, boo, da, boo, da, 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 da. But we can do what Beethoven did and we can adjust things slightly, right? Like so. The only Williams I know are the ones from the Neo series and William Wordsworth. William Wordsworth, huh? Who's William Wordsworth? Oh, a poet. An English romantic poet. Nice.
See how easy it is to use, and maybe some of the differences from the period form. Any of the moments where I'm kind of noodling around.
Yeah, John Williams wrote the Harry Potter music, and he wrote
so you can see we're starting
Star Wars
page,
and
usually is just the worst thing
Indiana
ever.
Jones.
Knowing we have this formula, the sentence form, it's actually going to make things pretty easy.
Memoirs of a
so
Geisha and Schindler's
For the
List.
period form video, I use C major, so I don't want to be too
He
boring.
wrote so much
stuff. A
stuff.
little different. Maybe we could use a minor
Jurassic
key.
Park.
G minor.
Yeah.
Or something. I'm picking that somewhat at random. So we need to come up with some sort of basic idea on the G minor theme. It's going to be kind of the basic, the main motive that's going to drive the rest of the theme.
A heroic motive.
So I've got a basic idea here. And the great thing about the sentence form is the next thing I have to do is repeat it. So I'm going to copy paste that over here. So I could just stay on the G minor, keep it exactly how it is. I could maybe move the whole thing up a third. I kind of like that idea. Or move it down to the E flat.
If we're on E,
down to the E flat.
and we
G
really
minor,
are on E because
the 1 minor and the flat 6 major are both kind of tonic.
Just thought the insane creativity and past artists who do things without computers.
It's really more
with just
of a
the mind and the
color
instrument.
harmonic change than a functional one. So just one more time where we are so far, halfway down.
It definitely involved more skill, and I think that's part of why it was kind of the domain of the educated.
Now we get to the interesting part,
right?
Of the continuation. So probably
music
what I'm going to do is try to
came in two forms, right? The classical, the court music,
and see where
and then
kind of
the folk music. And the court music is really what we remember today.
This right here,
whereas the folk music has been kind of lost to time. But what's interesting is that in the modern era, there isn't that division, right?
So
the
what I'm going to try
quote
to do
unquote
is sequence that whole
rich people music
moving up towards some sort of climax. One thing I noticed is that
both
G minor
accessible
goes down a third
to the public,
flat,
and it is
so maybe I
also
could go down to a
creatable by the
third
public,
again into a C
right?
minor. That would lay us on some subdominant harmony,
There's less
and that would be
stratification
the
in
place to
music.
start off the motion.
Is that a good thing?
Kind of
Is that a bad
progression
thing?
We're going to want to lead us into.
I'm not exactly sure. Because on one hand, you have music that is easier to access, but also you get this,
from where we left off.
you bring down the sense of elitism from on high, right? In our region, musicians have had a tough time to be taken as a hobby, not looked upon nicely by society. That is sad. Until recently. It's good.
Just providing left-hand part for us.
Yeah. The problem I think with music today is that you bring down this sense of
so why was it such a big deal for me when
needing to be trained?
For so long, I had no problem coming up with ideas and
in order to create music. You really don't need to be trained in order to create music.
Something to kind of continue.
For example, the Zarkon
moving. I might have 8 bars.
Makes cool music all the time.
8 bars so many times, and then I would just feel like things were very static.
Doesn't know a lick of music
Just
theory.
layering on top.
Although I'm trying to change that.
Bigger and bigger, but it wasn't going anywhere. It wasn't until I really understood the continuation section of the sentence and how that gives us so much movement, especially how it gives us movement in contrast to the basic ideas before it, that I really discovered how
basically
to get forward motion.
Like this stuff that I'm doing requires a lot of music theory.
So now I use the sentence form all
but
the time. Whenever
I don't
have
think
any
it's
kind of transition section, I'm going to be using the sentence
I don't think
form.
it's necessarily
Theme,
like
most of my A
necessary.
themes even use this form because that continuation is so flexible. It gives you forward motion. You can extend it and repeat the sections within for as long as you need, which is really helpful for scoring a scene. And it really gave me what I was missing before of that idea of forward motion, of actually going somewhere, of something really happening in my music that I didn't have before. There is a lot you can do with the sentence form.
Good.
Even within the
I like this. I like these tutorials that are just like very simple.
Longer. You can shrink it down and make it shorter.
Problem is here, whatever you're doing is instantly compared to how much money it is making. Creativity is brutally
Please let me know
judged.
if you're interested in more videos about the sentence form, how it compares to the period form, how we can make that continuation section even more adventurous.
Yeah, you're either the most famous and wealthy musician, or you're trying to be that person and you're not that person, and therefore you're failing.
So
right?
you don't miss it when.
Ugh, I hate that mentality. I like this. So what do you do in that situation, I wonder? Yo! Who's that coming in? What's up, Lustra? How's it going? Thank you so much for the raid. Welcome in, everyone. It's your boy, Isaac Anzu. Once again, spending a Friday night on the Twitch TV. Yo, yo. Ask them to bend over and F off. We're not talking about you, sweet raiders. We're talking about people who disparage creativity because it doesn't make you any money. People who are going to develop mental disorders in their 40s and 50s from lack of self-expression, right? Talk about timing. Welcome all. That's dumb. Creativity is the spice of life. It's so true. But there are capitalists out there who insist that if you're not making money, then you're not doing anything. And that's so dumb. We're back up to A. Bum bum. Bum 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 bum. Good. And then we need a cadential idea. And I bet I know what I can do here. Just steal some of this. Stealing from myself. So how are you, Lustra? How was your bro? Oh, I copied one too many notes. How was your stream? How's Payday 2? Did you accomplish the things that you so deeply desired? Let's see. I think what we'll do for this section is we'll have an E chord. We'll go to like a B, E. No. The B needs to be here, which means this needs to be a G. Does that work? Let's listen. No, I don't think that works. I'll tell you, for example, when I wanted to start my bridal spa salon business, my entire family elders went against me as belonging to a family of doctors. I'm going to be cutting hair. And now, when the business is good, they themselves ask for appointments and freaking heavy discounts. Ooh, fair weather family, for sure. You can't be a hair technician. You should be a doctor. Bum. Da-da-dum. Bum, 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 bum. Bum. Do. Yeah. Hate to raid and run, but I got to go to work in the morning. Have fun with the rest of your stream. Yeah, no worries. Thank you for coming in and raiding. No need to even apologize. I super appreciate the raid, and have a good sleep. Just realized I'm ruining the vibe of the stream. You're not ruining the vibe of the stream. I like to talk about this kind of stuff. Let's talk about the music. What's the Ukrainian bell carol you were saying? Yeah, so It's also known as Carol of the Bells. But it's essentially this melody. Okay. So we have essentially a nested sentence structure here. We have a small sentence, another small sentence, another small sentence, another small sentence. But in the same way, they form an idea, a repetition, a crescendo, and a cadence. Because I'm a clever boy. Ooh. May I recommend adding Christmas bell sounds for hi-hat replacements? Absolutely. Absolutely, we're going to add Christmas bell sounds for hi-hat replacement. Okay. Thank you, sir. You can take this video off of my watch later and put it onto my music reference channel. And now it's time to
Sudden
watch
changes in music can
the
be
next
fun
one.
and
It's
exciting,
the same guy,
but when
actually.
overdone, it can get a bit tiring. There are times when a composer has two very different musical ideas, but they
We're gonna
want
put
them to
so
flow
much
together
Christmas bells
smoothly.
into this.
So in this video, I'll show you one way to write a transition section between the love theme and the dragon theme of John Powell's How to Train Your Dragon that makes the difference less drastic. To start with, let's hear the first part of the love theme and the dragon theme with no transition between them.
All right, we're just going to turn this down a little bit so that Twitch doesn't hear the music. Ooh, some good ideas here. We got to have the tuba and the bass trombone, right? You got to have the tuba and the bass trombone and the double basses all like... Just imagine in my mind a raw potato playing a triangle-shaped electric guitar.
So we as listeners can adapt and find ways to morph some or all of the differences gradually from one side to the other. So between these two themes, I've found 8 main differences.
Okay, I guess before we get into this, we really should be writing another thing. So let's just practice. So I guess another thing we can do is we can listen to Carol of the Bells. Oh, the volume's still so quiet. Yeah. So starts out like this. Ding dong, that is their song with joyful ring, all caroling. You know, I haven't given any thought to I think this section needs to be the next section, right? Let's pause this. So let's try to transcribe that real quick. Heavy reverb. Okay. Yes, sounds good. Can we get down to eighth notes, please? Bum, dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. Heavy reverb. We'll need it for sure. Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, first off, let's move all this up. Okay. Let's think again about our sentence form. But what we can do in this section is we can have a quote unquote like double length sentence. So our idea gets longer. So bum 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 bum. Bum 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 do 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 do. That starts on E, right? Uh-huh. So we've got idea one, repetition, a crescendo, and then it goes back to that. Uh-huh. So now, in order to make a double sentence, a super double sentence structure, we repeat this, but on the second repetition, we just bump up the volume a little bit. Yeah, actually, this is sounding nice. Oh, that was a wrong note right there. Hello, hello. Teddy Dead Rat, thank you so much for the raid. What's up, friend? How's it going? Thank you so much for joining. We're currently writing some epic Christmas music. Yeah. What's the actual chord progression for this? Right? Hello, it's us. Welcome, Teddy. Welcome, Labrat. Thank you so much for joining. How is Kentucky Route Zero? I've heard that game's pretty good. And then it goes E. Oh, it's a very strange experience, but compelling so far. Sussy Nui, welcome. Rat Swarm, hand over your dustless sucrose pellets. Oh God, all my sucrose pellets are dusty right now. I'm so sorry. Will you still eat them if they're dusty, or will you twitch your nose and deny them? No, they're dusty. Yes, I'm sorry. But yeah, what happened to them? I put them in my pocket, and I'm so sorry. I wasn't thinking. They went right in the pocket. This all gets duplicated, and then we just change that. Okay. Would you like to hear what I've gotten so far? It's very simple. Isaac residue. Yes. All the skin cells that have formed from the numerous times I've put my hands in my pocket. I'm so sorry. If that means you won't eat the pellets, we can go to the store and get some more. We can stop by McDonald's on the way home, but we can stop by McPellets on the way home. I promise. It's very quiet. We shall eat them and acquire a taste for flesh. I'm getting a Happy Meal. What comes in a McPellet Happy Meal? Like cheese, pellets, cheese. Just watch Ukrainian Carol of the Bells. It's so resonating, mind blown. It's a really good song. I like it a lot. Okay. Give me more. This brings us up to 2 minutes. That's perfect. Who knew that writing music was so easy? But yes, welcome everyone. It's good to see you on my channel. I was actually working in Blender just the other day, and I thought, oh, Bnui's on. They do Blender all the time. I should raid them. And I didn't, because I was scared because you had a lot of friends in your chat, and I didn't want to interrupt. It's silly, I know, but what can I say except please don't hurt me? Oh, don't be scared. I'm just a bun. I appreciate your just a bunness. Okay. So now we've got the hardest part. We want to take our sentence structure, which is a double sentence already, and we want to create a crescendo sentence. So let's sentence this music to awesomeness. Thank you for the follow. We can share rating buddies now. We can be raid buddies now. But yeah, I've recently been struggling to come up with stuff of anything. And that's why we're doing this today. Essentially, I just opened up a tutorial and it said, here's how to write a sentence. Not like a sentence with words, but a sentence with music. And I thought to myself, now that's a spicy meatball. Oop, no, I don't want that. Wait, what the hell? No, give me. Yeah, it's just not strong enough. What did we do last time? We did this. Yeah, here's my advice. Not that you need it, not that y'all need advice because y'all are powerful people. But here's my advice: if you're letting the creativity, if you're not feeling the creativity, work on the skill, right? If you're having trouble with creativity, just watch some tutorials, do the least creative thing possible, just copy melodies, and you'll find that the creativity starts coming back to you little by little. Okay, this is our double sentence, right? So let's duplicate it. That's true with Blender too. Do you have any Blender tips that will make me the most powerful? That's really what I'm looking for right now. Lurk, bye-bye, Loves. Have a great night. Thank you, Nico. It was so good to see you. Thank you for sharing the Odyssey musical with me. Yeah, the most powerful. Do you want to see what I made in Blender? I mean, I just followed a whatchamacallit tutorial. Learning technique can spark ideas really well. It's true. It's titled My First Blend. Let me add window capture Blender. Oh, it's huge. So we started off by making this flower. I have to remember how to move around in Blender. Flower, right? And tree and fence and house, a little house. We made a well. Look at the well with water in it. A different kind of house. There's this island that they're all going to sit on eventually. And then at that point, the tutorial was like, okay, go make some stuff on your own. So I made some rocks and I made some grass and I made a statue of a dog. Look at this guy. Actually, I was thinking about this. We should shade smooth, right? Because the dog is so smooth. Cute. Because you're so smooth. Save that. Okay, go buy Blender. Yeah, that was 3 hours of my first 3 hours in Blender. More or less. You've been working hard? Well, thank you. The tutorial gave me some very good advice, which is to treat object mode like it's kind of its own thing, right? And work only in object mode for a while. So I've just been kit bashing essentially with the shapes in object mode and making stuff. What kind of input would you like? Yeah, just give me that one tip that turned you from a skinny armed stand gets kicked in their face beach loser into an Atlas man, right? Give me the Atlas man tip, right? That's what I want. The secret. Give me your most powerful secret. Awful. Have a project in mind you want to get done above all else. A bottle of Patron tequila. Now, I do enjoy that tip. Um, like a character concept. And, you know, try to work on it, run into issues, and seek out solutions. Having a goal is a really good tip. Nice. Like, I made Peppers my first full model, and I learned so much doing it. Is Pepper the model that you're currently using, or is Pepper the goat model? I guess what do I even want to do as my first thing? Pepper is the lambkin. Ah, yes. Okay, that is what I meant. It's shaking its butt at me. I'm I'm intimidated. The current one is version 2, a remake of the original. Interesting. I'll have to think about what I want to do. I'll have to think about what I want to do. A big project. Although I need to finish that other project first, because the thing that we stopped on the tutorial is like whatchamacallit, materials and rendering and lighting and stuff like that. So I'm still baby. I don't even know how to render. So for now, I'm going to finish that one up. But I have to think about that now. What sort of project do I want to make in Blender? Just pick a project and go, huh? Holy smokes, there's an Indian version of the carol. May I recommend watching a YouTube video, Carol the Bells, Sarajevo mashup. Sarajevo mash up.
It's a German J.
My Indian raga.
Apply today to be an Indian Raga Fellow and get featured in world-class videos and performances.
Oh yeah. Don't render much either, honestly. Most of my work is in edit mode. Yeah, that's what I hear. Like, edit mode is like the truly sculpty part of Blender. Ooh. I love the tabla, by the way. Tabla, like top 5 instruments probably. It's so cool. It's cool to see the violin there. Yeah, so the Sarajevo mashup is... My wife is yelling at me. Sarajevo. The Sarajevo mashup is from Trans-Siberian Orchestra, which does use Sarajevo. This is the one, the Trans-Siberian Orchestra. I'm not going to play it because it is definitely going to get copywritten. But that's the one that everybody knows is the rock version, right? My products tend to get exported out of Blender to be rendered elsewhere.
Apply today to be an...
Really? That's interesting. Do they Sarajevo
Gavo.
Sarah Havo.
Gavo. It's a German.
I know. I hear you. I hear you. I'm reading people's comments. They're making jokes about my stuff. My wife is a stickler for pronunciation because she's a singer and she learned that pronunciation is very important. Let's see if we can. This ends on an E, right? Usually make things for VR chat, VTubing, or game mods, so Blender's rendering is still alien to me. Interesting. So you are essentially just creating skeletons in Blender and then sending them elsewhere to be realized. I didn't even think about the fact that that might be how people use the software. That's really cool. Also, Robin says, "Hello, Mrs. Anzu. Pleasure to meet you." The pride I had when I learned the right way to say laboratory. Yeah, doesn't it look like laboratory? Just like in Dexter's Laboratory. Do the modeling, blend shapes, rigging, and UV unwraps in Blender. Yeah, so that's the other thing. I've heard that Blender is essentially like 8 or 9 different programs all in one. There's even a video compositor and a music editor in Blender. And so it makes perfect sense in retrospect that someone would focus their efforts on a particular part of the process, right? I just think of somebody doing Blender as doing all of Blender, but I guess Blender is so big. That's what you say here in general. Laboratory. Interesting. Laboratory. Yeah. There was a good while where I said it. You don't do Blender. Blender does you. Can't wait until I can download the Blender operating system, and then the joke will be, "Oh, why do you download Windows?" To download Blender. And then I can just install Blender on my computer and it will handle my OS and access the internet and connect me to social media, the Blender social media network. Please, Blender, if you're out there. Blender isn't so bad. Just keep watching tutorials and you'll do great. Well, thank you. I'm really having fun in object mode, and I think I'm going to keep just being in object mode for a little while because I don't really want to rush it. I'd like to keep having fun. And I think that's my thing, right? It's like a video game. If you're not having fun, what are you even doing? So when does one call oneself a computer whiz? I don't know. I I feel like I'm not a computer whiz at all. Can we just like dupe this? Bum, 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 bum. I'm wondering if I could set up when you can distinguish a computer from a computer cabinet. Is that how they figure it out? I think this is right. I'm trying to do a little bit of elegant writing here. It's not too elegant. Merry Christmas. Hey, Cookies. Merry Christmas to you, too. And happy holidays and a wonderful November to all. What's this? D. Let's make this a B. E. B. Yeah. Okay, that was like the hardest part melodically, but we got through with some sequencing. No, I don't like it. I know I just said we got through it, but we didn't. We didn't, in fact. Let's try this. Also, hi, Con. Go to bed. Bruh be staying up late, trying to watch my stream, and yet everybody knows that it's way too late and he needs to get in bed, you see. This is no good. There we go. So eepy. Yeah, if anyone needs to duck out and sleep, feel free. Don't tell me what to do, Mom. Do you want me to get out Isaac Momzu? I have that somewhere. Let me where did that go? Poor Dolu has made a sad redemption to redeem. Oh no. I woke up a couple hours ago and I've been in bed since. Dolu, what are you talking about? Redeem. Review requests queue. What did you try to redeem? You do not have enough points? Oh. Liar! Okay, we can open up Firefox. Yeah, I do have a very nice little look at this. Look at this. Isaac Momzu. The Mom Joke Book. This is by HLG, Horror Loving Girl. What's her Twitch? What's her Twitch called? What's her Twitch called? Literally Horror Loving Girl. Okay, sweet. I'm gonna shout her out. Join us in following this artist, Horror Loving Girl. Super cool. But yes, this is Isaac Momzu. Notice the hips. Oh, I love that. I love how the vest is kind of like a corset in here. Excellent. And of course, I would have a mom joke book. Very important. I keep adding things to this scene. We don't need to Okay.
Once upon a time there was a sweet little Dolu who couldn't redeem you woo.
Surprised that ain't a redeem, to be honest. You wanted to redeem an uwu, but all you could do is redeem text to speech. Man, nobody uses that text to speech, even though I really like it. Is it too quiet? How's the text to speech volume level? I can change that. Where's my... Where is it? Yeah, I've been thinking about doing a Momzu stream every once in a while. Maybe I should make it a redeem. Isaac Momzu, redeem. The problem with the big model redeems and stuff like that is I have like a really complicated setup for my model in OBS, and so it's not as simple as just changing a couple things. Right. Let's highlight this last section and just duplicate it. And I think this is the entire song. I feel that. But your model complex, your model setup is even more complex than mine. I am just starting to learn Blender, but I have a friend who actually drew my current model, who's working on a 3D model for me, and she's super cool. She's awesome. She doesn't stream.
The volume, you say. The volume is as good as it can get. However, I have demands about the air conditioning. You see, it gets hot.
The air conditioning. No, all right. Let me fix that. Where did I put that? TTS. Twitch channel points? All right. And then in this last part, let's just change this to that. Perfect. Wow, that was way easy. Okay, 2 minutes of 2 minutes of music.
We go from a full string section to low brass and low string. Pitch register. The melody starts very high.
So now we need to kind of orchestrate this. I guess we don't even need this yet. So let's add some instruments, shall we? I think what we can do is start by giving a nice sforzando to all the strings. Let's give a nice sforzando to all the strings. This will be our sforzando channel, and then we can have another channel that's the normal channel. Sforzando, Gesundheit. Excuse you? Excuse you? Bruh. There we go. My stupid MIDI controller is starting to drift. Just done. Okay. Next up, we need to kind of determine what register all these are in, and I think the easy answer is we just drop this part an octave, right? But then again, what we can do here is take this part, since these are our sforzandos. Yeah. Oh, thanks for lurking and thanks for stopping in. Love you, streams. I'll definitely raid sometime. I won't be afraid. I'm not afraid. Let's just drop these down to the power level, the most powerful level. Highlight all. Let's just starting to sound good. Starting to sound good. Perfect. Okay. So is that enough strings? What are you talking about? Oops, I meant to hit duplicate here. The answer is it's never enough strings in an epic thing. So let's just delete the melody off of here. And now we've essentially got this bass line here, right? We can fold this up. Needs more cowbell. I don't have the cowbell. So what we can do is we can just create a little something like this. And then just double check that all the notes are in the key. Oh. Guts themes plays. Every time you do it. Every time. I have to. We just more power. Tim Allen intensifies. Yeah, we'll add some Tim Allen grunts to this. I have a video on here about setting up percussion, right? So we want to look at this part. Right? Oh, duh. Just imagine a song entirely composed of Tim Allen grunts. Must I? I mean, we could do it. If that's something you want to see happen, I'm your man. So what I think we can do here is add a little bit of spice by essentially in this section going through and selecting all of the G's, every G, and raising it. Let's hear how that sounds. It almost sounds good. The problem lies here. At measure 65. Because there are G's in here. We just want to raise the G's. And those are the only G's, huh? And we want to take this. Same thing. Raise the G's. Is G even the only note we should raise? Maybe. Let's listen. Sounds like a transcendent experience. It sounds fucking awesome. That's how it sounds. Confuses musical masterpiece. It almost sounds good. Baka. Mama mau mau, mama mau mau. All right. We need to go from 65 to 81, and let's try selecting all of the F and raising them up as well. What we're doing here is we're shifting from natural minor to melodic minor. And I don't know if you know anything about that. But suffice to say, it sounds different. F to F sharp. Ooh, child, things are gonna get easier. Do you ever get unnecessarily mad that Chris Pratt exists? Me, all the time. I don't like it as much. It's a different sound. It's not a bad sound. Okay. You've seen how I handle music, of course. I don't know. Well, listen, the Tim Allen grunt is just a it's just a percussive noise. It's just a there's pitch information there, but it's not really in a key, right? So if you were to say insert the grunt into what have you, your beat mixing or whatever, it would work. You just got to get the rhythm right? And that's what I do when I do those vocal chops, right? It's just rhythm, really. Yeah. So now what we can do is something that Khan believes is the devil. We can add a MIDI effect arpeggiator. Let's go. The devil. So let's listen to this by itself. So you're saying I can make an entire choir of the Tim Allen grunt? Absolutely you could. Not the arpeggiator. But see, okay. Let me show you how. Son, sit right down and let me give you a music lesson. No, Dad, not the music lessons. I'll lose my sense of spontaneous creativity. No, you won't, son. That's a lie perpetuated by the capitalist society in order to prevent you from gaining skill that would elevate you above your peers. You have to understand, son. There's a lot of evil people in this world. They don't want you to succeed. But me, I want you. I want you big. You big, kid. You're gonna be a star, kid. A star, see? Is that even true? I have to think about what I just said. In note to self, switch the order of these activities next time. Oh, speech goes hard, by the way. I must consider whether or not what I'm saying is the truth. Preferably before I say it. Is that true? I mean, absolutely. Education is the power of the masses. And if we're not educated, even in things like the technical aspects of arts, then the ruling class will use that as a tool to control us, to lord their supposed superiority over us. Right? It's 2023. Okay, so here's how you actually use an arpeggiator. What you want to do is you want to move the notes around until they are about in the same register, right? So see how everything is kind of in the same register here? Why is it fucking up here? Ah, because up and down is a 4-note pattern, of course. And once you've got a good pattern, you kind of want to put this particular note on top, because this is the 5th, and so then your pattern will always center around the 5th. And I actually think Yeah, we should have done this on the other one. And all that does is it just adds a little bit of motion into the background. If my fucking pitch wheel didn't fuck it up. It's like the audio equivalent of a horse gallop, and I like it. Yeah. In classical music, you kind of have to add your own beats, so to speak. And the strings can be as much of a rhythm instrument as anything else. All right. Hell yeah. Okay. So now, let's see. We want to add in a few more things, such as brass. We need that French horn ensemble, naturally. Duplicate this and change the French horn ensemble into, let's say that I want the trombone. We need the blast. We need the power. And the tuba. And the trumpet ensemble, of course. Trumpet ensemble should be on the top, really. Okay. We'll group these up. And then essentially we just need to figure out which part goes where, right? So we take our string ensemble, copy, paste, 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 right? Right, and we can solo this. Hey, stop fucking with my pitch, you stupid thing. Okay, first off, let's look at the tuba. Solo that tuba. We can get rid of all the notes up here. Goodbye, high notes. And then here, what we can do is we can highlight all, stretch them. No, what we need to do is use the other one. So copy this, paste it here. Yeah. But of course. Can we go lower? Yes. We love that. Now the question though is, when should we bring in the tuba? And I think the answer is here. So we just make that a little thing and delete the first part. Now what we can do is we can listen to this section with the tuba where it comes in. Sounds so lovely and round. We love the big round tuba sound. Big round tuba sound. Okay. Next up, let's listen to the trombones. Yeah, we don't need this part in the trombones at all, do we? That's too low. Is this too low? No. But we want to change this to sforzando because or do we? The sforzando really sticks through, doesn't it? The forte piano is much better. And we don't want that to come into at least here as well. Okay. Now the horns, I actually think are going to be best if they are imitating whatever that was. My cat liked it. Is that a note? No. No note down there. And what about up here? Okay. So what we can do, which is fun with the French horns, is we can essentially create a big shape with the French horns. So that means that all of this can come down. All of this can come down. And then like all of this can come down. And then we have this huge shape, right? And we can even do a little sneaky here. And highlight all. Let me just make sure I'm doing this right. Like this. And then like this. Do a little sneaky. Okay, we don't want it that loud, huh? It's sounding out of tune, and I know why. My stupid thing. So just a little bit of support here. Six French horn parts. It's pretty powerful. Okay, got to make sure this part is strong. Yeah, that's what I want, but for this part. So let's increase it just a little bit more. Yeah, that's nice. Okay, last one, trumpets. Hit him with the trumpet. Smack, smash, crash, grab. The trumpets are too low. Oh, it's because I didn't change this from tuba. I'm silly. That nice sounds like an understatement. Okay, so I think what I want to do here is split this. See if we can't drop this entire thing down an octave. And then drop this down an octave as well. Just to put things in the trumpet's range. Yeah, seems good. So now let's change it to the sforzando. And we'll bring it in here because that sounds sick. So we've got strings, we've got brass. Right. Seems good. Next up is the winds. The winds. We just want like flute. Yeah. Let's just do 5 winds. Easy times. We'll take a flute. We'll take a clarinet. Even though I just woke up, I should probably go to bed. Thanks for the stream. Thanks for stopping in, man. You got to get your self together. Is all I'm going to say. Put yourself together. Specifically your sleep schedule. I appreciate you staying up for my streams, but please take care of yourself. Okay, so what do the winds do? The winds often do chord things at first, and then not chord things later. Stop. It sounds like a train, doesn't it? Okay. So first off, we've got the piccolo. The piccolo very clearly does the sforzando line, and only at certain parts. So let's start with the piccolo because piccolo's easy AF. Piccolo's so easy. Yeah. really just like here. Yeah, it's even going too low for the piccolo here. Now that is whistly. Okay. Next, let's do the bassoons. The bassoons can also have the staccato sforzando roll. Do we change the piccolo to sforzando? We should. Then this can all go away. Okay. So we can just take all this and double it up. All right, next we have oboe, which should be above clarinet. Next we have clarinet. Clarinet is probably going to keep these chords the most. But what we need to do is just check these top notes and bottom notes. Yeah, see, that's not a note on clarinet. So, up you come. You as well. And you. Now we do want to think about how we're introducing these elements as well, but we can kind of do the same thing for the clarinets that we did with the French horns. Where like the first half of the piece or so, we just drop it down. It's very pretty. I like it. Okay. The oboe should have this part. Wait, not this part. The flute should have this part. But we need to make sure it's in a fluty register. Not a fluty register. Not a fluty register. Okay, yes, a fluty register. I had the thing muted. That's really high. Can we drop it down another? Perfect. And I kind of do like having the flute in right away. Okay. The flute has that part. The oboe has this part. No, wrong. The flute has that part. The oboe has this part. How do I know? I just know. You just know sometimes. Let's solo the oboe. Yeah, it needs to be higher. We'll bring in the oboe there. So let's listen to just the woodwinds. Sounding nice. Okay. So we're probably clipping here. Yeah, I think for the horns, I just want to keep it up. Yeah. Okay. So before we do anything else, let's do a little bit of balancing and panning because things are starting to sound really crowded and really overwhelming. So what we're going to do is we're just going to highlight the what I want to be the biggest section, right? And we're going to loop it. We're just going to reduce the volume of some things, increase the volume of a few other things. We're not going for blasting sound, we're going for good sound. And this will make the rest of it sound good too. Okay. I guess let's go back to watching tutorials for a bit.
Octatonic. Dynamics. The love theme is quiet, the dragon theme is loud. Tempo. We've got 109 BPM and 120 BPM. Meter. We have 3/4 versus 4/4. Texture. The love theme is a homophonic texture, and the dragon theme is a concentrated monophonic texture. And melodic material. In the first 4 bars of the love theme, it spans.
We should do something with dynamics,
the dragon
huh?
theme only spans a minor sixth. And while the love theme is fairly active right away, the dragon theme starts with this long, drawn-out D, and it has this little 16th note neighbor figure. We've identified the differences. Now, how do we structure this thing? In analyzing classical form, William Kaplan points out that the classical era composers would usually, not always, but usually structure their transitions as a sentence. This
we
makes
just learned
sense
about
because
that.
the sentence form is inherently active and forward-moving. While the period form is nice and balanced, the sentence really drives you from point A to point B. Another key characteristic of the structure is that it ends with a half cadence, because we want that feeling of incompleteness that won't get resolved until the new theme begins. Okay, we know our differences. We know we're going to structure this like a sentence with a half cadence at the end. How do we bridge the gaps? First, let's figure out how to get from our first key to our second key. Thankfully, in this case, F major and D minor are relative keys.
I think we're gonna have to add
I'm going to
some
start on a B flat major chord, which is the 4 chord.
automation here.
Starting on the 4 chord is less stable than starting on the 1 chord, so we'll make our transition more active right from the start. Then I'll take a pretty traditional path and lead to a half cadence in D minor.
this.
Now let's figure out the melody. We can connect the sections by borrowing motivic ideas from both sides. Here in the last bar of the love theme, we have this F to E suspended figure. So let's start the transition with that same figure, making it a pretty seamless next step. I'm also going to use the melody to smooth out that difference in pitch register. So since the first theme is high and the second theme is low, I'll have the melody work its way down over 8 bars. We could also borrow that little 16th note figure from the dragon theme as a way to foreshadow what's to come. So by the time we get there, it's already familiar. For dynamics, our first theme is mezzo piano, the second is fortissimo, so mezzo forte.
We're doing this a little bit
compromise.
already.
To give space for the new theme to enter, we could even decrescendo right at the very end and leave a little breath. Now at first glance, it might seem like I'm contradicting myself and we're doing the opposite of transitioning smoothly by getting quiet before getting loud. But I think if you look on the overall zoomed out scale, the structure is moving in a logical way from mezzo piano to mezzo forte to fortissimo. So we'll get the contrast in that specific moment, but still feel the natural progression from the wider perspective. Right now, there's still a difference of over an octave from the end of the transition melody to the start of the dragon theme. So I think it will be even smoother.
So I think we have 2 dynamic ideas working here.
An octave lower. Here's where we currently have it if played on violins. Let's bring it an octave down and give it to the cellos. And one way to bridge that gap between strings and brass,
we have the overall crescendo and we have the double crescendo,
violas,
right?
cellos, and French horns, giving us a hybrid timbre. Introducing the French horns tells us like, oh yeah,
so now we need to figure out among these, like which one has each. I think the trumpets definitely have the double.
And the last thing I'll do is fill out the harmony with the violins. Because the violins are above the melody, I'll make it a pretty
I guess I need to
arpeggio line that doesn't attract too much attention to itself. Also, there's another chance to foreshadow.
I need to line this up with the music.
Dragon theme by using the little
You know?
half-step neighbor figure. And to finish the texture towards our
Hard to see at these little
line, I'll
little
simplify the
note
violin parts
sizes.
at the end. The only major differences I didn't really acknowledge are the change in tempo and the change from 3/4 to 4/4. But I don't think either of those changes is really significant enough for us to really notice them. Especially with the slight breath here, I don't think there's any need to accelerate the tempo or pull any fancy tricks to get from 3/4 to 4/4. I think
The
those
French
changes
horns are
go pretty much
definitely-
unnoticed. So here we go with the full love theme to transition to dragon theme. If all went according to plan, it should feel like the dragon theme is interesting and exciting when it
French horns are
happens, but not
definitely
completely bizarre
the big
or
crescendo.
unrelated to where we started. And if any of this was interesting or useful to you, please give the video a like and a comment. Even just commenting a thumbs up emoji will signal to YouTube to keep promoting the video. All right, let's take a listen.
This is also going to be like that. Sounds nice. I think he's going for a more compositional side though.
This idea of gradually morphing across the different elements of the music is a really important part of developing and connecting musical ideas. That's why you have to check out this video here. Where
And I think all the melody instruments are going to kind of use this up and down.
Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.
Hey guys, what's up?
Hey guys, what's up? I think all the melody instruments in the winds are going to use this up and down idea, just because that will give us some variety. Up and down, babe, up and down. Nobody knows that song. It's one of the songs that I did for my open verse challenge, where I tried to do 100 different open verses, and yeah, it's very catchy, but nobody knows it. There's a TikTok out there. Just search up and down, baby, up and down. Okay. And then the very last one is here and here. And this is just the crescendo. Up and down, babe, up and down. Yeah. Okay. We've added in some dynamics. Wow. Give a listen. We're clipping a little here. We don't want that. Let's just drop everything down. Really a fair amount. We're still clipping. Better. Yeah, okay. So the problem here is I'm adjusting the upper gain but not the lower gain. I think the lower gain is just too loud on these ones specifically. Yeah, that's better. All right, we're getting close. This next video is about how to layer trailer percussion.
My name's Grant Borland, and today I
Hello,
want to
Grant
make
Borland.
a video based on a YouTube comment I got the other day. I posted a video a couple weeks ago that was talking
So now we're
about,
going to do
6
percussion.
sample libraries beginner trailer composers should start out with or consider getting when gathering a collection of libraries to start with. Anyways, on that video, I had a comment from a guy named Tim Auergen. Don't know if I'm pronouncing that right. Auergen.
We definitely want a bass
he asked
drum.
me if it was possible if I could make a video on how to layer drums for stuff in trailers. He said he always struggles with that, and I didn't have a video about that
Snare
kind of thing
drum?
at the time, but I do have some songs that were sitting on my hard drive that have not been published with any publisher. They were just written, kind of for myself as practice or
cymbals?
whatever. Kind of save it for a
Of
rainy
course.
day thing if anything came through. But I had some like sound design percussion type trailer tracks that I, kind of just wrote for fun. And I figured today would have been a
For
perfect
fun?
opportunity to dig into those tracks and maybe kind of take a look at, how I layer drums. There's lots of mixing tutorials out there, and I don't necessarily want this to be a mixing tutorial. I'll share some things, but I think more importantly, I kind of want to share like concepts behind how to layer drums, rather than being like, hey, use this plugin here, use that plugin there, you want to use this compressor or this reverb or this saturator, so on and so forth. Because really, mixing this stuff is all pretty personal to you too, and what sounds good to your ears. So I kind of want to try to stay away from specific plugins, because really, I think for me personally, concepts help me more than just basically having a shopping list of plugins that I have to get. Because
Agreed.
That's
I
not
like
really
that.
that helpful in the grand scheme of things. I'm gonna play through this track. Like I said, it's like a sound design percussion track. It's pretty well finished. I may go back and fix some things. I brought this session
So
up
what we're gonna do is
quite
we're
a
gonna
while ago.
steal
So
ideas
I
from this
listened to
guy.
it today before
Steal 'em.
filming the video. But even listening to it now, I feel like there's some things I could probably improve. So just know that this isn't released with anyone, but it's it's kind of a look into my process when writing these types of tracks. So anyways, let's jump into Logic, and I'll show you the session. So here we go. Here's the session we have. It looks pretty chaotic. Things are not extremely well organized, and honestly, that's kind of my process. Like, I know some people have to stay organized and they have to color code everything
That's
as
me.
they go. For me, I feel like I just lose like my inspiration, and I kind of lose that creative steam if I'm always thinking about, oh, this has got to be organized, that's got to be organized. This is kind of the
Dude, I lose my
the raw
creative
look at
steam if
how my
everything looks
sessions
like it's a
look, and then
mess.
I kind of clean things up when I get ready to like bounce things out and stem it for publishers and whatnot. But this is pretty.
It's just nice being able to work on
terrifying
things
looking right
without
now. I call it organized chaos.
your
or
screen
something
being
like that.
covered by
But anyways,
shit.
let's listen to the track right now, and then we'll dive into the drum sound and the drum layering, and I'll kind of explain my thoughts on how I layer this kind of thing. So,
All right.
anyways, here we go.
Let's listen to his track. This is very Hans Zimmer. It's such a trailer cliche. Dum, 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 dum. It's like a taiko drum, kind of. Do we have a taiko drum? I wonder. Taikos. I do have taikos. Oh, hell yeah. All right, we'll try taikos.
Alright, so there's the track. Like I said, sound design, percussion, hybrid, sort of trailer track. These kind of things are good for, you know, a plethora of different things: trailers, TV spots, even like some commercials and things like that too. I know I've done some albums where I've written tracks like this, and these types of percussion tracks kind of end up all over. You know, looking at like TuneSat reports and BMI statements and stuff like that, it's kind of interesting to see where these types of tracks end up, because you know, you write this and you think it's all aggressive and it's going to be used for this kind of crazy trailer, that kind of crazy trailer, and before you know it, you get a BMI statement and it's on like some random cooking show in Germany. So just know that these are pretty versatile tracks for sync licensing too. But anyways, let's go ahead, take a look at the drum sound. So I'm going to highlight, instead of playing the whole track, I'm going to highlight kind of this more back end section, because I think that's when the drums really start to ramp up. I feel like the first half of this track is more of a setting the tone with signature sounds and other bits of interesting
He had a big reverb on
and then
that.
as the track builds up, the percussion starts to get thicker and more intense. So I'm going to highlight this back end area, and I'm just going to solo the percussion and hits, because the hits are a big part of the trailer drum sound too, using them as accents and things like that. So here's just the drum and hit stem for you. So there you go. Pretty high energy track, honestly, from everything. You know, the sound design. You know, you have these pings that are just screaming at you, and then the drums are just like kind of unrelenting. They're just, you know, just
a cooking show in Germany.
So that's what I was going for. So
I feel like this has happened to him specifically.
Really quick.
I feel like this is not a random story.
About with my drum layering is really the thing that's important to keep in mind for layering drums is kind of like the timbre of each instrument. So you're going to have some drum sounds that are like low frequency material. You're going to have some that are like mid-range, and you're going to have some that are high range. And kind of the trick is to balance all those. I think mixing things becomes a lot easier if your arrangement of your instruments is there. You know, it gives you a lot less work on making a more convincing drum sound. So what I like to think about is some of my high rhythms, or like the fast rhythms, are going to be dedicated to more higher percussion. So that could be anything from like snares to sticks to things like that, that top end. Sometimes really like crushed drum sounds too. You bring out a lot of that high end.
Yeah, we are looking at this bass here. We kind of want to set the bass to be delineating the thing. It could be even more, couldn't it? Compress the reverb. Let's compress the reverb. And then, of course, we want reverb on the compression, right? Just the whole way through, huh? The whole way through. Let's look at these taikos, though. I'm really interested in the taiko. Interesting. So if we were to make our rhythm in this soloed, it would look like this. But we probably wouldn't want it to be that, would we? Boom, ba, boom. Yeah, that's not exactly what we want either. Bum. Because we want kind of this. Yeah. Then did it. So we would basically want 4 bars of that, and then on this bar, up the intensity till the end. Maybe we want those switched. Let's just join these and join this. Move that up, move this down. Yeah, I think that sounds a lot better. And then what we can do is we can take this and simplify it. So this. Obligatory hello. I have mango jello flavored milk, so I think my day is going pretty well because of that. But more importantly, how are you? Hello, Board Brain. Thanks for stopping in. I'm doing well today. We're making some Christmas music. I love Christmas music. This is my favorite Christmas song, too. Will we do Carol of the Bells from now until the very end of the season? We could. I would not get tired of it. Let's listen to more of what this guy has to say. It's a bit early for that,
those
right?
are sometimes good to layer for fast,
Bruh emote.
repetitive notes. And for the low
I'll have you
percussion,
know
I kind of keep
that
those not as
October
fast. I feel like if
is
you're-
Christmas
If
Eve,
you got a low patch and,
and
you're sitting there and you're
November
drumming a
is
really quick,
Christmas
like, 16th
first
note
month,
pattern
and December
or whatever,
is Christmas
it's gonna start
proper.
to kind of sound a little bit like clustered and muddy, and
That
things
is
won't
the
sound
true
as
way of
clear.
things.
So it's kind of nice to separate that.
Over
If
here
you're
in
gonna have
Germany,
high,
they don't
fast drum
have
sounds, you want those
Thanksgiving,
to be
and they don't
higher
really have
pitch, and you kinda
Halloween
want that-
to
those lower
form a
drum sounds to be
barrier
bit slower.
between
Think about a drum kit, too, it's a good
Christmas
way to think about
and
it.
September.
Generally, you're gonna have
And thus,
maybe a kick drum doing a certain pattern
September
that's a little bit slower than, say, your snare. You know, if you kind of
is,
like a, just a, I don't know, like a random
the
four-
place to
four
start.
time signatures, really basic drum piece.
I usually wait until January to put my Christmas tree up.
Oh,
that's perfect. You can get halfway done and then realize it's January and take it down.
So those kind of things are
You have to do
very
half as
important
much
to keep
work.
in mind when arranging drums too. So if I kind of dig into some of these sounds, you're gonna kind of hear that. For example, some of my higher sounds are gonna sound a little bit faster.
Yeah, what about that? Does that sound weird to you? My headphones might need replacing soon. I'm starting to hear weird sounds. So let's try duplicating this. No. What am I saying? Let's try adding a audio track, setting the ins to contact 21 and recording. Perfect. We'll just let that play. Yeah, you must understand that I am super into Christmas. Christmas is my favorite. So now what we're going to do is we're going to crank it, and we're going to pitch it up. Are you actually sampling Vin Diesel in this piece or just sampling him in the title? Well, I wanted to put like XXXmas, right? Like epic Christmas music. Let's go. But I didn't want people to think it was like sexy Christmas music. I just wanted people to think it was Christmas music. You understand what I'm saying? Let's listen to this. That would be awesome. I mean, we could sneak some Vin Diesel in here, I guess, if you really want to. We also have the snare drum. The snare drum is almost going to have the same part, but it can have it like through the entire thing, right? Let's just listen. Listen to the snare drum. Okay, so first off, we want a different kind of snare drum in each section, don't we? So in section 1, let's make it soft snare drum. That's kind of sick, actually. Let's just make it quieter. And then I think for this one, we can have that. And then maybe like a replacement here. Where's my roll? Fantastic. And the last thing would be the symbols, right? Does this guy even talk about symbols? By the way, Board Brain, what time zone
that's
are you
a keep
in?
force patch right there. And so even
I recognize
with, like, this damage
the down under accent. I don't know
frequency information.
exactly what time you normally stream and stuff. Oh, time zones suck. And I stream at a weird time, even for European times. So, what's a chimera to do? How can I
And then,
even
for example, some of the lower
reach
stuff
the
are gonna be
friends
like
whom I so
this
desperately
punch
desire?
percussion track, and then this decimator drums
How?
epic 2 patch, which is now I believe called Cerberus. It's by Audio Imperia, but
Audio
I'm still using
Imperia.
decimator drums. Which
Let's
would be
listen to
old
some
version of
cymbal
that.
sounds,
So,
shall we?
yeah, these are going to be things that are a little bit slower. I mean, they're not like super slow, but they're just more of that like consistent hit, rather than these kind of like little, like triplets and things like that. I leave that to more of the high range.
That's a good one.
I feel like here's what it sounds like.
These are all very similar.
There you go. So you can kind of see how it starts filling out. The drum beat still sounds fast, but you kind of got that high end and you got that low end too. And that's kind of how I approach the other hoops and other layers I add in the percussion. So for example, I've got these other layers sound like this.
What was the one area? Is this what I'm thinking of? I'm meant to be living in Californian time zone, but it's not going so well. Oh, that's sad. Jesus, these sounds. All right, let's just listen to this. I mean, that sounds pretty good, but maybe we need to do it like this. Okay. California, huh? It's got to be pretty late over there. Are you currently, when you say it's currently not going well, do you mean that you're currently not going to bed at a proper time? All right, let's put this wherever it needs to go, which would be where. Measure 81. Gotta get proper sleep. I had to go to bed at 5 a.m. and wake up at midday. Almost bedtime then, isn't it? So, as long as you're getting your proper amount of sleep, it should be fine, right? Why don't we just do that? That was a weird sound. I think we can even do this. Just do a big roll. Big roll. Sounding pretty epic, I will say. I'm not really using a whole lot of this guy's advice. I'll have to finish this tutorial later. That's the catch currently. I'm dealing with neck and shoulder problems. Oh, those are tough. We do not stand neck and shoulder problems. Not in the slightest. Yeah, the percussion sounds nice. Okay, so I think I need a different. Oh, okay. I think I know why my uh-huh. It's not my headphones. My computer is just processing a lot of data right now. Maybe that's why I'm dropping frames. Ableton is currently using 60% of my CPU. That's probably the problem. It's pretty incredible how this structurally is just sounding so good. Okay. I think I'm gonna have to clean this up off stream, otherwise my computer might catch fire. And I catch fire in the rain. Is someone stealing your internet? I think I just saw the message previous to mine appear on screen chat box. We've dropped quite a few frames. We've dropped quite a few frames. It wasn't so bad when I first got here. Maybe I'm a curse. No. I'm pretty sure it's my Ableton Live program. It was eating up 60% of my CPU, so I'm sure that didn't play nice with OBS. Why don't we just call the stream here? I'll turn on some music. They don't have Christmas music yet on my little music playlist thing, but that's their problem. They have polka. Let's listen to polka. Well, thank you so much for joining me. My name's Isaac Anzu. Why do I like this so much? I actually dig this a lot. Let's find someone to raid. Who shall we raid? Who shall we raid? Casually just almost setting my computer on fire with a dozen and a half instruments all being loaded in with live samples. That's how we do. Um, you know, I haven't raided Pinch Raccoon in quite a while. Let's raid the Pinching Raccoon. Let's raid the Pinching Raccoon. Oh. Pinch Raccoon. And I will throw the raid message up in chat. So, thank you so much for joining. This has been a very fun stream, and now we're listening to Polka, because why not? My name's Isaac Anzu. If you're still in chat, please grab the raid message and let's go say hi to Pinch. Thank you so much for stopping in. I still have to figure out the karaoke celebration since we hit 500 subscribers. Don't worry, I'm on it. We're having a good time. We're having fun. Goodbye, future Isaac. Hope you have a good evening. Thank you, past board brain. I will try to speak slower so the words catch up. Anyway, it's time for me to go. Have a great evening. Farewell.